A somber day for the sports fan. JT, you and I are both big baseball fans. A man by the name of Yogi Berra passed away yesterday at the ripe age of 90. Rest in peace, Yogi. We're going to miss you very much. Give me some of your thoughts, JT.
I mean, it's as always. It's always sad when a legend to the game passes on, especially one that as being a Yankee fan, it is him, Yogi Berra. Just even though I never got a chance to see him play, just the aura around him, growing up, hearing the stories about, what he did, what he was able to accomplish. I mean, it's crazy. The crazy stat I heard that I didn't even know about yesterday night that I read was that he caught both games of a doubleheader 117 times. And this is in an era where people don't even, catch both games ever. Like, if you catch the day game, almost 99% of the time, you are sitting out or you're DHing for the night game.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the moxie on this guy, the stamina, I mean, truly one of the greats.
And he played from behind the plate for, 15 years? How long was his career? Let's find this out. We need to know this. Vince Scully said yesterday that to quote him, he said, quote, "As long as people talk about the game, whenever they mention the name Yogi Berra, they will smile because he's that kind of human being." And he epitomized that. He played the catcher position for 19 years. 19. People don't do that anymore. And this guy was a certified Hall of Famer stud. I mean,
in 19 years, I mean, some people barely even last 12 and 13 nowadays, and especially the catcher position, just the havoc it wrecks on your knees.
Exactly.
You're squatting for 3.5 hours plus. I mean, I'm thinking of all the great, catchers of our time, basically. I don't know if any of them went 20 plus years. I'm thinking of Jorge Posada, Pudge Rodriguez, the Molina trio. I think they're...
Name that Molina.
What is it? It's Yadier,
Benji,
Jose,
good.
There's a lot of family trios in the major leagues, but I mean, yeah, I can only think of them and as them being the standout guys from our time, and I don't think any of them have gone 20 plus. I think Jorge came close.
He had some DH years though at the back end.
So, but I mean, what Yogi was able to do, especially in the era in which he played with so many great players. He's still playing in the era with Jackie Robinson. Was he still in the era with Mays, or was he before that?
I want to say he played with Mays. We can find that out. Thank goodness for technology. I know Yogi Berra's career spanned from 1946 to 1963. Willie Mays' career spanned from 1951 to 1973. So yeah, obviously they played together. Yogi Berra, they described it. By the way, go to MLB.com. Just watch the videos on Yogi Berra. They're great. Every single one of them are great. They describe the guy as everybody's hero, everyone's friend, and he lived a life of greatness and humility. And that's a great life. I mean, he had a family. He loved them all. He was everybody's friend. And at the same time, when he was behind the plate, he was the guy that would make conversation with the hitter. And growing up playing baseball, I couldn't stand that guy because obviously he's trying to get in your head. He's distracting you. But
yeah.
Yogi had a smile on his face the whole time. He said, "Hey, how you doing? How's his family?" He'd say, "Good. What are you doing after the game?" And he'd say that, and then boom, strike three. That was Yogi Berra.
That kind of reminds me of the character in The Sandlot. I forget the character's name, but there's a scene where they're playing the Sandlot team is playing the Little League team that's the big bad guys in the neighborhood, and they're playing the pickup game at the Little League stadium, and all he's doing, almost the entire sequence of that, scene is just him standing behind the plate as each hitter comes up, and he's just like, "So hey, how's it going? Let's go batter. Let's make it a quick game. I want to get home for lunch. Hey, how's your sister doing?" It was just comedy like that, just getting into the guy's head, and you could see guy after guy just going up and striking out or just popping up or something, doing something that they wouldn't normally do, because the catcher's getting in his head. But, Yogi, maybe he was just a generally nice guy. Maybe he actually really wanted to know about that person's life, but who knows?
I mean, you take Vince Scully at his word there. If he's a guy just Google Yogi Berra. He's smiling. It's he's such a good guy. Something that really caught my eye when I looked at this guy's stats. I never really paid attention until, unfortunately, now. And I'm talking in depth. One season, In 1950, he played 151 games. He had 28 home runs, 16 runs, scored 124 RBIs. And he hit 322. That's a great season by all means.
Yep.
But that's not something that's like transcends time, if you will. It's not, people do that. Not regularly, but it happens.
Yeah.
But here's the kicker. In that season, Yogi Berra walked 8.4% of the time. And more importantly, he struck out, get this, 1.8% of the season.
Was that the year he only struck out 16 times?
That it would have to be.
Yeah, I mean, that's
12. Oh my gosh. 12 times.
12. There's guys that strike out 12 times in a week sometimes up here. Like, it's ridiculous. Oh, man.
Yeah. He had a reputation as a bad ball hitter, so he was a very hard out. I guess that kind of puts him in the same category as Vladimir Guerrero, one of my favorite players to watch growing up. Oh, man.
Vlad would chase balls that were, like, over his head. It was ridiculous. Oh, man. But, it's gonna. I think my favorite thing, thinking about the whole Yogi Berra thing, was, I don't know. I mean, I know a lot of baseball, buffs that are older than me would know this. But his not rivalry, but his going-ons with Steinbrenner, which a lot of people don't know. There was like a very shaded relationship between him and Steinbrenner over when Yogi was the manager of the Yankees, and the Steinbrenner fired him, but he didn't personally fire him. He had an assistant, I believe, come down and fire him. And so Yogi took offense to that, saying oh, he didn't even have the, I'm trying to think of the word, but the gall to come down and do it himself. He had to have an assistant. So they had a strained relationship.
It's cowardice.
Yeah, basically. For a strained relationship for a number of years. And then I think it was the early 2000s or something like that where they finally, made up. And then they had a Yogi Berra day. And then, of course, the Yankee fans are going to embrace him. Open arms, So I think that was a pretty interesting thing I learned.
Absolutely. Yankees fans are going to embrace this guy. But here's the thing with Yogi Berra. The casual fan who's not a Yankee fan, 9 times out of 10 doesn't like the Yankees. They probably hate the Yankees. But Yogi Berra is the guy that can't be hated. He transcends time as one of the greats on and off the field. The man won 10 World Series championships. He could literally fill both of his hands with rings. Are you kidding me? He went to 14 World Series. He had 15 consecutive seasons as an All-Star. He was MVP 3 times, and he's one of 4 players to ever do that. And on top of all of that, he served his country for I can't tell you how many years, but he served his country before joining the Yankees in 1946.
Yeah, he was part of World War II, and he was actually a part of the D-Day, the invasion of Normandy. And if you want to think of the embodiment of a true American, I mean, you'd have to think Yogi Berra.
Yes.
I mean, he serves in World War II. Goes on D-Day, right, and then plays and excels at America's pastime. I mean, it doesn't get any more American than that, unless he also invented a new flavor of pie. I just can't think of anything else.
Yogi pie. You're on to something.
I wouldn't know what you would put in that, but I don't know.
Some berries, perhaps. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1972. He was the Yankees and the Mets manager for a time, but we just wanted to give Yogi a fair tribute on this show. Thank you very much, Yogi Berra. You will be missed very much.